Hey, I'm Jasmine Lassett, and I am going to be presenting my interpersonal communication plan for studies in interpersonal communication for Liberty University. To begin with, I was just going to look at what is interpersonal communication. The communication between two or more people. It can be face-to-face, it can be on the telephone, it can be through email, through text messages, video conferencing, lots of different ways that we can have interpersonal communication with other people. In our Uniquely You that we did, we came up with our behavioral blend. A behavioral blend has to do a lot with how we communicate. We've learned a lot about that. The behavioral blend is a predictable pattern of behavior because you have a specific personality. This is what defines you. This is what makes you you, and you react to things the way that you do because of these personality traits that you have. There are 4 basic personality types. These types, also known as temperaments, they blend together to determine your unique personality. These behaviors determine how you often feel, think, and act. And like I said, this came from Uniquely You. We did a little test type thing, and this is what it came up with for me. So it gives you 2 different graphs. It gives you the graph that this is expected of me. This is what you feel like people think about you and how what they expect from you. Mine was steady influencer. On my second graph, which is actually me, I got inspiring, driving, and submissive. Those are pretty accurate descriptions of me. The graph on this is expected of me, I just wanted to read some of what it said here just to show you that like this kind of defines a lot of me. You think people expect you to be both inspiring and submissive. You tend to be more people-oriented than task-oriented. You feel others want you to be active and outgoing in crowds, but passive and reserved in small groups or with individuals. People expect you to be more relational than functional or project-oriented. You seem to enjoy talking to others as opposed to being by yourself and completing tasks. You don't feel people want you to take charge or spend most of your time researching how to improve things. You don't seem to focus on the details as much as you do on how others feel. You think people expect you to improve a crowd's enthusiasm or an individual's joy through your encouragement and warmth. That last sentence right there defines me completely. And I think that this is because of where I am in my personal life. I'm a pastor's wife, and so I feel like oftentimes, as most pastors' wives do, we have lots of pressures, lots of things expected of us, and we feel like we are supposed to be the entertainment, the hostess. We're supposed to provide the needs for whatever need it is, for the children's ministry, for the women's ministry, for our husbands, for whatever it is. We feel like that is our job. So this I can agree with this graph and what is expected of me, how I feel people, what they expect of me. Now, in the second graph, this is me. I can also agree with a lot of this. It says you can be dominating, inspiring, and submissive at the same time. What you don't seem to be is cautious and calculating. That is true. You are positive and outgoing, but also have a need to loyally support others. You can be a little shy and sensitive in the midst of your driving and influencing demeanor. This often confuses people. They don't know how to read you because you have 3 of the 4 motivations in you. You are more active than passive in your task orientations. You don't get bogged down with the details. Facts and figures are not important. You are inspiring to others and submitting to those you trust. You tend to be relational with a strong desire to also control and decide what others should do and feel. This is actually very true of me, and that is bringing us to the next discussion that I will talk about is barriers to communication. I am a fix-it person. I am working on that. I know that that is a huge barrier for me, and I am doing my best to try to do better with that as in my personal life, with my children, with my husband, and in my professional life. As I move into a therapist role from a community support specialist role. I like to make people happy. I don't like to see people hurt. I don't like to see them suffer. In my community support specialist role that I'm in right now, I see lots of hurt. I see lots of people struggling. I see lots of people with needs that, for me, they're so easy to come about, but for them, it takes a lot more effort, a lot more work. Where I may be able to go and get food from a food pantry, they may not have transportation. My thing is to jump in the car and go get it for them, rather than teach them how to get that stuff on their own, how to find transportation, how to go about getting the needs that they need to provide for their families. Attachment is another barrier. I get very attached to people. I think that that's a good thing, but it can also be a bad thing. I know I can often be too direct, and I think that that kind of goes along with the giving advice and fixing it. Like, I may come across as, this is what you need to do and you need to do it this way, when that is not how I need to be. I need to allow them to come up with their own goals and work through it themselves. I need to be more careful of what I promise. That's a barrier. I can't fix a lot of these people's problems as much as I want to, and as much as I may try. I know that I can't fix it, so I need to be careful not to give them false hope. And also, when I'm not there, when I'm no longer their community support specialist or their therapist, the next person that comes in may have a different view on things, and so I don't want to give them false hope. This kind of goes along, often too sensitive and too empathetic. Empathy is a good thing to have, but it can be bad to have too much of it. And like I said, I am very sensitive. Don't like to see people hurting. And this one, a barrier to communication, I think it's going to go back to the me being a pastor's wife, and it is communing in community. I love people. I love my church people. I love my church ladies. I love fellowships. I love every bit of it. But sometimes I get tired of being around people, and I think that's a healthy thing in a way to pull away and get away from people at times, because you do need time to yourself. But I also see where not communing in community can be a bad thing, because as Christians, we need to remember that communication is a gift God gives to us. Schultz reminds us that we are here to love and serve in life-affirming relationships in communities with God, our neighbors, and ourselves. I like that. I like that description that he gives there of how we are put here to communicate with others, not to sit to ourselves and keep to ourselves. We need to remember as Christians that communication is a gift God gives us. Proverbs 11:9 says, "The hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge the righteous will be delivered." We need to use our communication that we were gifted with to show God's love, to build others up, and most of all to share the gospel with others, so that others can come to know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior. For my plan, my goals and strategies, I'm moving into a school support therapy role, and I need to be more motivating and more challenging in my communication. I need to allow my clients freedom. I need to allow them to talk, and I need to talk less. I need to do more listening, and I need to listen effectively to them. I need to be encouraging to them as they talk, but not I understand, not constantly, that kind of thing. I need to let them know that I'm hearing what they're saying, and I need to ask open-ended questions, so that it gives them an opportunity to think for themselves and to come up with goals for themselves, and to as they talk, they'll have more clarity in what they're saying, and what they're feeling, and be able to come up with goals together. But mostly that they'll be able to come up with goals on their own. In conclusion, I just want to say, as a school support therapist, my goal is to provide an atmosphere for my clients where they feel safe to talk. I want them to feel cared for and valued. I want to equip them with the tools they need to better themselves in the classroom, at home, with friendships and future relationships and endeavors. I want to teach them to think independently and to problem solve. By learning and putting to use the communication skills learned, I will be able to be successful in this. I'm very thankful for this class and for the information that I have learned. It has been very beneficial to me, and very beneficial to where I'm going and what I will be doing next in my life. And I appreciate all of classmates' discussions and replies, and look forward to my future with support therapy, and best wishes to everyone. Thank you.